Welcome back. This film is remarkable for how unconventional it is. It's a film noir, but shot in technicolour. It is a femme fatale, a murder and a good man turned bad, but it taps into an unusual subject area, the effect of PTSD. And it stars one of Hollywood's biggest stars in a very unusual role for her. It is Niagara from 1953. This was an original story idea by Walter Reich, with the script co-written with Richard Breen and longtime Billy Wilder collaborator Charles Brackett. Wilder and Brackett had been the most successful writing team in Hollywood, but parted following Sunset Boulevard, with neither man ever revealing the true reason for the split. Charles Brackett also produced Niagara, as he had done on the many films he made with Billy Wilder. Walter Reich had known Billy Wilder since their days in Berlin in the 1920s, and that may be a reason for this new writing team working so well together. In the early 1950s, the name Niagara was synonymous with honeymoon couples, and Brackett had originally wanted to make a film set around Niagara Falls, featuring a sentimental story of a girl walking out on her husband on their wedding night before getting back together again. But they adopted Walter Reich's idea of a mystery story with a real murder in it. Following the film's release, William Hook, the Canadian Member of Parliament representing the Niagara Falls area, complained that the film, being about murder, suicide and seamy lives, gave the falls a bad name. What undoubtedly makes this film special is the appearance of Marilyn Monroe. Head of Fox, Daryl F. Zanuck, wanted to put Monroe in the film against expectations as the villainess, not the newlywed. Walter Reich thought, my God, here was the prettiest girl in the whole United States of America, but he insisted it was a great idea, so he finally did it. We didn't know whether she would like it, but she had no objection whatsoever. On the contrary. The film included many firsts. It was the first film for which Marilyn Monroe received top billing, the first of 3 huge hits for Monroe, the others being Gentlemen Prefer Blondes and How to Marry a Millionaire. Those 3 films grossed over $25 million, making 1953 the most successful year of Monroe's film career. It was her first Technicolor film and is the only movie where Marilyn played a villain. Marilyn always created on-set challenges, but on Niagara they were of a different nature. During filming of the shower scene, director Henry Hathaway had to keep yelling at Monroe to keep away from the shower curtain and away from the lights, as she insisted on being naked as she was under the bedsheets at the beginning of the film, and to pass the censors of the time, the scene was darkened in post-production. This is amongst the last films made by 20th Century Fox using the 3-strip Technicolor process, as there were compatibility issues between it and CinemaScope. Curiously, a trailer print for the film was made in black and white. Jean Peters was cast as Polly Cutler after Anne Baxter withdrew. Peters' character was initially the leading role, but the film became a vehicle for Monroe, whose star was quickly rising. After James Mason turned down the role of Rose's husband George, it was offered to Joseph Cotten. While Cotten puts in a good performance, it didn't please director Henry Hathaway, who said, "It would have turned out a much better picture if James Mason had played the husband, as I wanted. He has that intensity, that neurotic edge." The character of George Loomis is an interesting one, especially for the way the question of PTSD is subtly woven into his backstory. George has a brooding anger and a moodiness that extends beyond the infidelity of his wife to a much deeper psychological scar, which gives the story yet another element. We learn that George was a patient at the Letterman Army Hospital, a facility that cared for returning wounded soldiers from every major conflict, especially World War II, Korea, and later Vietnam. In addition, the character of Ray Cutler, a happy, balanced newlywed, says he is reading Winston Churchill's 6-volume history of the Second World War. Those volumes were published between 1948 and 1953 and were popular in both the UK and the US, again underlining the impact a world war not long ended and the ongoing Korea War was having on the society of the time. While the film did good business, the critical response was tempered. The New York Times wrote, "Obviously ignoring the idea that there are 7 wonders of the world, 20th Century Fox has discovered 2 more and enhanced them with Technicolor in Niagara. For the producers are making full use of both the grandeur of the falls and its adjacent areas, as well as the grandeur that is Marilyn Monroe. As has been noted, Niagara may not be the place to visit under these circumstances, but the falls and Miss Monroe are something to see." Variety wrote, "Niagara is a morbid, cliched expedition into lust and murder. The atmosphere throughout is strained and taxes the nerves with a feeling of impending disaster. The focal point of all this is Marilyn Monroe, who is vacationing at the falls with her husband, Joseph Cotten. The camera lingers on Monroe's sensuous lips, roves over her slip-clad figure, and accurately etches the outlines of her derriere as she weaves down a street to a rendezvous with her lover. As a contrast to the beauty of the female form is another kind of nature's beauty, that of the falls. The natural phenomena have been magnificently photographed on location." Contemporary critics have seen past the Falls and Marilyn Monroe and have had more praise for the film itself. In 2001, Robert Weston wrote, "Niagara is a good movie for noir fans who crave something a little different. Be warned, the film was shot in glorious technicolour, not black and white, but still boasts an ample share of shadows and style." Undoubtedly, the best reason to see Niagara is for the scenery. There's some terrific location work that showcases the breathtaking aspects of the falls before the city evolved into a tawdry Canadian answer to Atlantic City. And of course, there's a girl named Marilyn Monroe, burgeoning at her humble beginnings. In the weeks after Monroe's death in August of 1962, Andy Warhol used a publicity photo from this film as the basis for his silkscreen painting, Marilyn Diptych. So a number of reasons to watch this film. For film noir fans, it's a film noir with a difference. Marilyn and the backdrop of Niagara Falls are fabulous in technicolour, and it is a tense drama well told. Now what I recommend that you do is you go to our website, find our virtual screenings page, find the link to this particular film, click on it and watch it, see what you think. I think it's wonderful. I think you will as well. But as always, we'd invite you to come back, let other people know what you thought about the film and whether you recommend it for them also. And then we'll see you back again in the not too distant future for our next classic films review. Catch you next time.